Hello everyone and welcome back for week 10, the overview for Comp 1 1510A1217, the online asynchronous at OCC. A couple of quick announcements today. Hopefully, this at the start of this week here, going into the 10th week, and we're rounding the corner on a bunch of these different things that we've come to completion on. Students who've been up to date on things and haven't fallen into any of the areas of review for academic honesty issues, I'm hoping to have everything squared for you guys within the next 4 to 5 days, and that's being realistic with what the timeline was over the last week. I tried also to move some of you who got feedback last on memoir to the front of this so that during rhetorical analysis now we have a little bit of a change up. I hope that everyone did see my posting on slight delay this last week. I am still dealing with this, doing my best to try and make sure these things are in. Now, I have been able to keep a decent pace. I just can't work as long and as late as I typically would while I'm on, on antibiotics and things. But I have been able to maintain fairly close to the schedule. And posted some more things yesterday and today on feedback and grades. For some of you, for the final drafts on memoirs, if you aren't one of my students who's redoing stuff because of academic honesty issues or agreements about different things that we discussed, I still have a few of those to get back to, and that's going to have to be part of par for the course. Please, on here, as I said, keep moving forward so that I can continue to react to the things as they come in timeline. For those of you who had to redo some work, you're going to have to wait probably until the end of this week at least for some more of those to be able to go through revision or commentary on those. And I can't guarantee, if you are part of an academic honesty issue at the beginning of the term with memoirs, I can't guarantee there will be rewrite time or anything for those. For those of you who had those things in, there were no issues there, you still will, and I will still maintain this 22nd for the rewrite date on there for anyone who needs one on that. But having said that, on the pieces that we're doing right now, I adjusted a few things, one being here on the research primary points. I left that open until tomorrow night so that you guys have the additional day on this. You're not waiting for my summary working thesis commentary on that. Summary and working thesis, remember that part of the assignment, folks, when you guys are, and I want to switch this to be student role so we see exactly what you guys are looking at. But when we're looking at these pieces on here, the summary and working thesis component that you guys did, I'm reacting to this and giving you guys feedback in accordance with this template that was in this Dropbox. And remember, if this was done correctly, what I'm reacting to is whether or not you followed these primary requirements of the research topic. Did you write in full sentences? Is it all third person? And did you cover these categories explicitly and give me a working thesis for this upcoming paper? If you did, you got most, if not all, of those points. Those were the only things I was reacting to there. If this is done correctly, it's going to end up being the your topic section and thesis of your upcoming intro paragraph. Now, having said that, the piece that you're working on now, so that there's no confusion on this, the primary points of support and work cited that you guys are doing this week due tomorrow night. I moved it a day for you guys. That's this other template that was introduced last week. Okay, this is the second component on this. If this is done correctly, you're going to have your topic sentences for your bodies and your work cited page. Now, I want you to remember on this, if you only need 3 bodies, then these topic sentences suffice. But if you do need to add a 4th one, then add that here and give me those. Third person only, full sentences, don't give me fragments, and each one should be introducing a support point of a body that would go along with your research. For the works cited page, make sure you guys read these directions. I cannot believe how many students simply skip over everything that's on the page on this and submit any way that they want. The point of this is to frame your topic sentences so I can see what direction your bodies are going to go. And then once that's completed, after you've written them in, you move the works cited title to the top of its next page. So if you wrote several lines here, this still needs to be moved down to the next page, and you're going to put your sources on this page, a minimum of 10, and they have to be in MLA format. Remember, that means Times New Roman, 12-point font, double spaced. The first line of every entry is up justified to the left margin, and the second and on for individual entries would be a hanging indent, and they must be in alphabetical order. These things are also listed in your textbooks, folks. Those were in your readings weeks ago. Make sure that you note that. In the textbook, there's also a page, a picture of what the works cited page looks like. Okay, so make sure you guys are on top of those. I extended that day, and for the rhetorical analysis, I am still going through on some of these, so I did move the final draft date of that. I moved it to next week. Just note that I'm giving you guys this time between. I still have some feedback to do on some of your summary and outlines. It's just been disrupted a little bit here with being sick, and also because some students, I'm still dealing with some of the academic honesty issues. And guys, it's overwhelming in the online classes. This is so unfair to face-to-face and other students in the online classes who are doing their work. Those of you trying to slip through with ChatGPT and these things, the academic ethics here that you're violating, I really have nothing to say except I'm going to continue to push those to the fullest extent. You're costing us time, money, attention, resources, everything away from students who are really doing their work, and faculty and staff who are trying to make this transition of adapting to things like this even existing. And one of the points of a course like this is not for you to use someone else to write for you. And if ESL is an issue and all these other things, those are other things to address, but they are not allowing for tools like ChatGPT or Grammarly Plus to write things for you. This has to do with critical thinking and your verbal and written communication skills that we are tasked with instilling to you, so that employers and your community know that when you leave an institution like this, you possess these skills, not some software program. Okay, so I want to be very clear about that. The upcoming weeks, guys, again, this week you're submitting this by the 9th. I have the rhetorical analysis. I extended that to the 14th so that everybody can make sure they've gotten a feedback from me on the summary outline. Some students, I got nothing for rough draft, and some students have not participated in the discussion boards. So that is going to play into the final grade on this. You guys are going to see a pretty significant reduction in your overall points if here now, as I'm entering attendance, participation, and discussion grades at the end of the term, I don't have those from you. Okay, those of you who've done them, you're up to speed on all that. Now this week, the main thing that is assigned for the week is to get the outline, abstract, and works cited template done. That is due on the 15th. Make sure that you watch this video. You've picked your topics. This template here is fairly straightforward. If you did your summary and working thesis, and I've commented on that, you'll be able to move your topic section, that commentary, to here and here for those, and you'll just be writing a general statement and a specific to open that intro paragraph. Then you'll be going through on your bodies. If you only have 3 bodies, that's fine. If you need a 4th, you can add it. I'm not going to mark anyone down who does not add a 4th, even if you need one. Just note that for the research on there. Conclusion paragraph, conclusion of restatement thesis, main topic points, and the final evaluation. The new thing that's on here that some of you might not be familiar with is the abstract. In 150 words, give the following details. Now, you are still doing it in this template. 1 to 2 sentences in each of these, 2 to 3, and 1 to 2. Pay very close attention to what's being asked for here, and you're still writing in third-person objective statements, right? Not first person, not second person, not saying I, we, our, mine, yours, none of those. Third-person objective. You can only complete the abstract after everything else in your paper is done in this area. So make sure you guys complete this afterwards. In an outline format, we put the abstract afterwards because we can't write it until we're done. Then on here, I want the listing of the 10 sources that you ended up with for this on a works cited page. It's included. The difference between the abstract and an outline, and when it comes to the draft that you guys submit at the end of the term for this paper, is this abstract is the last thing before the works cited on the outline. The week following, when you're doing your essay, you will combine this back into an actual paragraph, and the abstract will come before the rest of your paper. The abstract ends up being a summary and overview of everything that went on in your research and the findings of that research. So essentially what your paper is about and what the results showed. We won't know that until we're done with our research and investigating those things and talking and writing about them, which is why in an outline format we do that last. And again, that's something that you may need to make sure that you're focused on at the end of this. Okay? So that is the final component for this week. Make sure that you read over these instructions. You follow everything as it's noted here. When it comes to quote format, you do have to have direct quotes as supports in the body paragraphs. Make sure that you follow the quote format as detailed in the instructions below. When it talks about the framing, I want you to use major and minor support framing. So if you make a claim, you're not going to use support to make claims for you. You're going to use support, direct quotes, to support or defend what you say about that research. All right? You have to have so many of them per body paragraph, and you got to make sure that they all follow with clear MLA formatted in-text citations. Remember, this is MLA, not APA. If you're not doing the work and you're not doing the reading out of the textbooks and you're not following along with these, I'm already seeing that students are doing an amalgamation of Chicago or APA because they're not actually following what the instructions are for these. You're getting stuff online. You do that, you are going to cost yourself in the grade. Please make sure you're just following these directions. It's been pretty clear and straightforward that I've been fair with all the grading as much as possible. I think I've been pretty lenient in terms of the primary things that you're responsible for in class. I'm not when it comes to the things that you're stepping outside of those, particularly with academic honesty issues. Okay, so this is the assignment that you guys are actually responsible for this week in week 10. Everything else, guys, make sure that you're up on your primary points of support. I gave one additional day on there. The final draft of rhetorical analysis, I gave a few days so I can make sure to get the summary and outlines back to you guys posted. I think I have 4 or 5 more of those summary and outlines to go, and then after that, this week, you're just on your outline with the research paper outline and 10 sources on that works cited. All right? Let me know if you got questions. There are 23 students, I think, still on roster in here doing, working every week, guys. Out of you, 15 or so seem to have righted your ship and you're all doing good work and you're on track with things. I want you guys to note that in the last 2 weeks, there were the videos that were assigned and some students have not accessed these. Remember, when I assign these for doing your research, the week prior in 8th and 9th, in the online course, we do see in the progress report whether or not you went through these and viewed them and completed them. So make sure you're not skipping over those. Those are part of your attendance and participation for the class. And these take you through the databases for OCC. Remember that all your sources, like these here, whatever topic you picked, all your sources must be peer-reviewed, full-text available sources from our OCC databases. Again, that's up here under Student Services for your library access. And you can have access to all these from anywhere you're at as long as you have your OCC ID, access, and password. Okay? I look forward to seeing the rest of the work, guys. Good luck for those of you who've been keeping up with it. Good work for those of you who are making adjustments now or planning to make them. Make them now and right the ship so that you can come into the end of the semester successfully. All right?